A lack of accountability seems to be growing more around the world. Most people want to play the victim because it takes away the blame and the responsibility that they would have to take if they were to be more accountable and responsible. And they won't have to change anything because it wasn't their fault in the first place. The victim-minded person loves blaming others and never takes any sort of accountability. And the thing is that they like it. They feel good doing that because not only do they feel good that they don't need to change anything, right? They stay in their comfort zone, but they also attract attention. Just look around on social media right now. There's a lot of people on social media who like to play the victim, who want to, cry and do all these little things just to attract attention, because being a victim nowadays gets you a lot of attention. But guess what the victim-minded person doesn't experience? Growth. That's right, they do not experience growth at all. It is close to impossible, I'm not gonna lie, to experience growth while also being the victim. Because to grow, you will need to accept and be accountable of where you went wrong so that you can fix it, so that you can start doing the right things. And also, the victim-minded person just doesn't like change, which is why they would rather just blame someone else, and they would rather people give them the things that they want instead of them earning it. A life that they end up living is mediocre and miserable. They work the same job, earning the same salary, driving the same car, living in the same neighborhood, practicing the same habits, and complaining about the same things. But if you're watching this, that means that you're interested or you're committed to self-improvement to live the fulfilling life. And a key principle in self-improvement is accountability, holding yourself accountable when you go wrong. Researchers at the University of Scranton found that of those who create New Year goals, 92% of them fail to achieve them and only 8% of them achieve them. I believe a major reason why people do not accomplish their goals or make any progress that they truly want to make in their life is because of a lack of accountability. You have to believe that you are at the steering wheel of your life. You have to believe that you're the author of the book that you're writing of your life. Because if you do not believe these type of things, that means that you believe that you have zero to no control over your life, and that means that your life is just gonna go wherever it goes and you have no control over it. It is imperative that you become accountable, or you're just gonna suffer living the same life wishing things were different. One of the bad habits that I used to have in the past was constantly hitting the snooze button when I would wake up. The alarm would wake me up and I would add another 30 minutes and then go back to sleep. And deep down, I didn't realize this, but during that time, what I was actually doing was hurting my confidence, because I was breaking one of the promises that I had made to myself the night before. Just to give you guys a little bit of a detail of how my mornings used to go back then, this is how it used to go. I would wake up, I would hit the snooze button, I would go back to sleep, then I would wake up again, hit the snooze button, go back to sleep, then I would wake up again, and then I would grab my phone, and instead of hitting the snooze button, I would just start scrolling for like an hour or so and just waste time. And then I would get up and I would go and make myself some cereal. But as I started to self-improve, I changed a lot of my bad habits, as you guys all know. And this one was one of the priorities of mine to change. This was one of the habits that I wanted to fix immediately, because it was really affecting not only my life, but more so my productivity and just wasting a lot of time. And this is how my morning looked like after I fixed that bad habit. I wake up, I pray, I express gratitude, I get off my bed, I go straight to the bathroom, get a little quick trip to the bathroom, and then I'll start cooking breakfast. This would set up my morning right, and I did this for a long time, and I'm not gonna lie, it felt so good because I finally got in control of my time, and I didn't wake up and just start immediately wasting time. I just got straight to doing what I had to do. But here's the tricky part, because as I started to do this over a period of time, I started to realize that I was also, developing a bad habit at this point. This wouldn't happen in the beginning, by the way, but later on, as I started to follow this routine, one of the bad habits that I was developing was that when I would wake up, right, like I said, I would start to express gratitude and pray. And I would do this all while laying down on my bed. And so I would pray and express gratitude. Sometimes I would do it closing my eyes. And this is the bad idea, right? Because I would notice that I would end up falling asleep while I'm praying or expressing gratitude. So I'll be like in the middle of it, and the next thing you know, I wake up like 10 minutes later and I'm like, holy crap, I like went back to sleep. And sometimes I would go like 10 minutes of sleeping, and then sometimes I'll go like 12, 13 minutes of sleeping, and then I'll wake up and I'll be like, damn, I just wasted like 15 minutes or so, and I could have gotten up after I was done praying and expressing gratitude. Instead of getting out of bed 5 minutes after the alarm had gotten off, I would end up getting out of bed 20 minutes after. This was no different than the past version of myself, where I would hit the snooze button because I was breaking a promise to myself. I told myself I'm gonna get up at this time and I'm gonna get out of my bed, and instead I would end up getting out of bed 15 to 20 minutes later. And this was not only hurting my confidence because I was breaking a promise to myself, but I was also wasting time in bed. And so I started to do self-analysis so that I could break this habit. So what I did is that I went on my journal and I started writing down about what habit I was developing, how it was affecting me in a bad way. And then I started to create a strategy of how I can break that bad habit so that I don't develop it more and then it gets even worse. And so the strategy that I ended up creating went like this. Instead of waking up and praying and expressing gratitude while I would lay in bed, which by the way is a bad idea since I'm still tired and laying in bed, and this only makes it even more likely that I'll fall asleep, I would just wake up, stretch, get up to the bathroom and pray and express gratitude there. That way, since I'm in the bathroom and I'm already, up and running, my body's already up and running, I can't fall asleep in the bathroom. Like, unless I'm like extremely tired, which even then it has never happened. It is very, very hard, like very, very close to impossible for me to fall asleep at that point. And I've been doing this now for a while and it has worked. The bad habit that I used to have, falling asleep in the middle of, praying and expressing gratitude, has been broken. And all of this happened because I did self-analysis and I became self-aware of the things that were happening in my life that were affecting me in a negative way. And I was able to fix this bad habit and break it and start to form a better habit and start to form a better routine that will help me, have a better morning. Us humans are different and very gifted compared to other species because we have something that they don't, which is a creative mind. We have the ability to think and to imagine. Animals, their goals are, pre-selected for them already. They cannot wake up to one day and create a goal for themselves. Their goal is already pre-selected from the moment they're born, which is to self-preserve and to procreate. Us humans, on the other hand, are blessed with much more. We are blessed with a creative imagination. We have the ability to create our own goals and to create a strategy on how we can accomplish that goal. And our goal literally could be anything. When we're working towards a goal, we are focused on a certain direction that we're going to in order to accomplish that goal. And we make a plan in order to accomplish that goal that we're working towards. But sometimes our plan doesn't go as planned. We all know, right? We create a plan in the first place on that we're gonna, do this in order to accomplish this. And sometimes it doesn't go as we wanted to. I'm not gonna lie. It happens to all of us. And in this point where the things don't go as we wanted it to, when the things don't go as planned, it is when we have to adjust. It is when we have to steer in the right direction so that we make sure that we get to where we ultimately want to get to. Think of a self-aiming torpedo. It will aim at the certain direction that it wants to get to and it will go towards that direction. And if it needs to, adjust along the way, it will do it as long as it gets to where it needs to go. And adjusting in the path that you're on right now requires you to admit when you're wrong so that you can fix them and start going in the right direction again. And this is where the victim-minded person fails. This is where they land on their ass and they do not get up. And there's a couple of reasons why people may not correct their bad habits or their bad ways of thinking. They do not pay attention to the consequences of their actions. They may be in denial and not want to admit they're wrong, and they do not want to take responsibility and would rather blame others for their mistakes. But the major reason why people never correct their wrongs and they stay stuck in the same spot is because of a lack of self-awareness. And a lack of self-awareness leads to no feedback, and no feedback means we won't know what we're doing that's right and what we're doing that's wrong. And if we don't know what we're doing is right or wrong, that means that we're just going to be walking around in circles, and 10 years from now we're going to arrive somewhere and we're going to wonder how we got there. In order to self-improve and to accomplish the goals that you set for yourself, you need to be just like the self-aiming torpedo. You need to be focused on a certain direction and you need to adjust along the way as much as you need to in order to get to where you want to get to. That means admitting where you went wrong and fixing the wrongs that you did, and this will lead you living the fulfilling life. When we are striving towards accomplishing a goal, we need feedback. We need to know what we're doing that's wrong, and we need to know what we're doing that's right so that we can fix what we're doing that's wrong and we can ultimately continue to do what we're doing that's right. This is why the coaching business is booming right now. People are paying others to give them feedback and also to keep them accountable, because they know that if you are accountable and you get feedback, you're gonna ultimately grow. But you probably don't want to spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on coaching right now, but you still want feedback. We all want feedback. The good news is that you can get feedback to become self-aware through self-analysis. To start analyzing yourself so that you can make improvements and start moving forward in your life, you need to do this at the end of the day. You need to journal. And in your journal, you're going to ask yourself these questions and you're going to answer them in that journal. What is one thing that went well today? What is one thing that went wrong today? What role did I play in these scenarios? How can I do better tomorrow? And by doing this daily, you're going to keep yourself accountable, and you're also going to be growing because you're going to know what you did wrong and what you did right. And you're going to know that tomorrow I'm going to do better by fixing what's wrong and by continuing to do what I did right. Let me give you guys a real life example so that you can guys get a better idea of how you can take advantage of this. For instance, if you are someone who has a goal of losing X amount of weight and you're working on this goal and you end up eating chips throughout the day, and this ruins obviously your progress, this is how you can go about answering these questions. What is one thing that went well today? I worked out for 1 hour first thing in the morning and ate a healthy breakfast. What is one thing that went wrong today? I ate chips in the afternoon. What role did I play in these scenarios? I saw the chips in the kitchen cabinet and I was tired, so I fell to my temptation and ate the entire bag. How can I do better tomorrow? I will continue to work out in the afternoon, and I will get rid of any and all junk food that is in the kitchen so that I do not get tempted. This will help you become self-aware so that you can know what you did wrong and that you can know what you did right, so that you could also create a strategy, create a plan on how you're going to do better tomorrow so that you can end up experiencing growth and progress as time goes on. But I have even more good news for you, bro. Just like I created the self-analysis so that you can get rid of the hub for good, I also want to help you guys make progress in your life and make progress in accomplishing your goals. And so what I ended up creating was what I call the analyzer. By the way, I created it for free for you guys, and this is going to help you make the progress that you want to make in your life life and become self-aware through self-analysis. And when you use this every single day, you're gonna end up making progress in your life, because without self-reflection, I'm telling you guys right now, you're not gonna make any progress. If you have a goal in life right now, any goal, 5 goals that you have, whatever it may be, and you do not have any type of self-reflection at all, you just go by your days, you have a bad habit, but you never even reflect on why you practice that bad habit. If you go by your days living that type of life, I'm telling you guys right now, you're not gonna make any progress in your goals, and you're gonna be falling back and wondering 5 years later why you haven't made any progress at all. It is because you're not self-reflecting, because you're not doing the work that you need to do at the end of the day. And so that's why I created the analyzer, which you can get down below for free. And this is gonna help you if you use it every single day. It's gonna help you make it the progress that you want to make in your life and to finally accomplish the goals that you set for yourself. So go ahead and get it down below for free. Go ahead and get the analyzer and start using it. We all have 2 choices in life: to either play the victim or to take control of our life. But playing the victim will leave you unfulfilled. It's gonna leave you living a miserable and mediocre life, and you're gonna be one of those people who's walking the streets and has that, ugly, that straight, that miserable look on their face, and people are gonna be wondering, yo, what the hell's wrong with this person? Like, why is he not smiling? Why is he not in a good mood? And taking control of your life will leave you living the pillars of the fulfilled life: great health, great wealth, great relationships, and happiness. It is time that you take control of your life and finally discover the true inner power that you have by grabbing that pen and being the author of your own book, by grabbing the steering wheel and start driving the car instead of being on a passenger seat. You create everything in your life. Your actions in the past generated the results that you're currently living right now, and the actions that you're taking right now are going to generate a certain result later on in the future. Become self-aware by using that analyzer that I created for you for free, which, like I said, get it down below for free, and use it every single day so that you can make the progress that you're trying to make in your life, so that you can finally accomplish your goals and become the best version of yourself. Because if we do not analyze ourselves and we just go about our days not even reflecting ever, then we're just going to be making the same mistakes over and over again, and we're going to wonder why we keep on making the same mistakes or why our life is the way it is. Because one thing is for sure, if you do not self-analyze, you won't self-actualize. But anyways, that's all I got to say. I'm out.